This thing on? Okay, we are coming at you live. And today's live trading series, we're talking about the hottest cryptocurrency of 2017, and we're doing technical analysis. Now, what is the hottest cryptocurrency of 2017? It's not Bitcoin. I'll give you a hint. It's not Ethereum. It's not Litecoin. It's not even Bitcoin Cash. It's not even a currency. You cannot mine it and you cannot spend it. What is it? It's Ripple. That's right. Ripple is the hottest cryptocurrency of 2017 with a 2,900% return. That is 30 times your money in less than a year. So that is nothing to sneeze at. And it came out of nowhere to seize the #2 spot in market capitalization, which it now holds. It overtook Ethereum in that. Now, what is Ripple and what is going on here with this price move? Well, we're going to focus on technical analysis today, and there's a lot to do in the fundamental analysis side of Ripple, and we'll talk about that in a future video. But let's look at the price move and see what's going on. Now, remember that the system that we use is identifying a crypto sector, okay, an altcoin sector, and in this case, it's the micro crypto sector that has issues and the coins that have arisen to solve those issues. Everybody knows that Bitcoin is slow. Transactions can take hours, and there's a big backlog. Also, they're expensive. Okay, they've gotten as high as $30 to $40 per transaction. So not really worth buying a cup of coffee for a transaction that costs 30 bucks. So looking at, again, the fundamental analysis, there's a lot to talk about here, but let's just generally, if you haven't heard of Ripple, you want to know what it is. It's real-time cross-border transactions between banks. So let's say a bank in Tokyo wanted to send money to a bank in Nicaragua. Okay, so now we're talking Japanese yen to Nicaraguan Cordobas. I know, I had to look it up also. I didn't even know what the Nicaraguan currency was. So what normally would happen in that situation is the yen would have to be converted into a reserve currency like the dollar or the euro, and then that would then be converted into Cordobas and transferred to the bank in Nicaragua. Now, there would be intercurrency exchange rates which would probably not be favorable to the banks doing the transactions, and there would also be intercurrency fees and cross-border remittance fees. So Ripple is designed to eliminate all of those, and it's secure. Transactions take seconds, less than 4 seconds. Compare that to hours for Bitcoins, and 3 to 5 days traditionally for international interbank transfers. And the CEO of Ripple famously said that the fastest way to send money to London is to pack it in a suitcase and get on a plane. So Ripple does this instantly and nearly free, and it's also scalable. It can handle thousands of transactions a second. It's even been shown to handle as many transactions as Visa. So that's what Ripple is, and its price has made a huge move in the last month or so. So we're going to look at the technical analysis, and going back to our chart, this is December, and Ripple has made a huge move in December from about 20 cents to over $2. Now it's at $2.15 right now, and that's the morning of January 2nd. Okay, now we're going to look at the money flow oscillator, and that's what you see in the lower window here in blue, and see how the money flow oscillator could help us profit from this move, ride this train to Profitville. That's what we're trying to do. So let's see what we can come up with the money flow oscillator. Now, just from a little bit of explanation, what is the money flow oscillator? Well, first you got to understand what you're looking at with the charts. And the green bars are days or bars when the price went up, that is, it closed higher than it opened. And the red bars are days, or they're 6-hour bars, so they're periods when the price closed lower than it opened. And so you have the open and close on either end of the bar, the green and the red, and then you have the high and the low with these upper shadows and lower shadows, the high and the low. So that's what the candle chart is showing you, the candlestick chart is showing you. And going back to the chart itself, you can see that the highs and the lows and the shadows are visible in the chart. Now, let's take all our trading secrets off of here for a minute and just look at price and volume. These bars below the price show the volume, so you can see where volume shot up during the times when it was making significant move. And this is the money flow oscillator. Now, what is the money flow oscillator? Well, it's a mathematical formula that is really cool, because what it does is it looks like this, and you don't have to memorize that or know anything or calculate the math, but what it does is it weights the volume based on how close the close of the period is to the high or the low, depending on whether it's closer to the high or the low. So the idea is that if it closes closer to the high, then there's money flowing in to the currency. And if it closes closer to the low, down here, then there's money flowing out of the currency, even if the price doesn't echo that movement. So the cool thing about the money flow oscillator, is that it can reveal underlying patterns in the money flow, even that are going opposite to the price. So let's look at how that works, practically speaking, and how we could use it to make money. Now, this is December 11th, when it broke out above 25 cents, and the money flow oscillator was starting to reach new highs. You can see back here, the money flow oscillator was much lower, and it was even, in negative territory most of the time. But then it shot up into positive territory and shot up even higher into positive territory. So that gave us an example that money was flowing into the currency during the breakout above 25 cents. And you can see it started shooting up into positive territory and even higher highs before it really started breaking out in price. So here it shot up to 89 cents, and then it dropped. Okay, but even though it dropped, the oscillator stayed positive. Now, why is that? The reason is that it was closing closer to its high than to its low. Okay, so if we zoom in on that, we can see what I'm talking about. Okay, in that situation, it was, even though the price was dropping, the close was closer to the high than it was to the low in this situation. So that's why the money flow oscillator stayed positive. And that gave us a clue as to money was still flowing in even though it was dropping. So there we go, down to 61 cents. And then it shot up to $1.25 and dropped again to 63 cents. But the money flow, again, stayed in the positive range despite those price drops. And if we zoom in on that region, you can see again that the money flow is all staying in positive territory, even though the price in this situation is dropping down. And then the price obviously turned around and went right back up. So now it hit a new high of $2.45 on December 30th, and currently it's trading at about $2.15. So you're talking about, just in that very short period of time, from December 11th to December 30th, just a couple of weeks, it went from 25 cents to $2.50, basically 10xing your money over that period of time. So technically speaking, the money flow oscillator, using that formula, gave us some really powerful clues to Ripple's move in December. And that first one is, again, from the price drop to 63 cents to $1.25, from $1.25 down to 63 cents. the money flow stayed positive, and then the price popped back up. And the other one is the early breakout from just above 25 cents. After the drop to 61 cents, you could see the money flow was still rising, and that's a really crucial factor right there. The money flow is still rising, even though the price was dropping. And that's the really cool thing about the money flow oscillator, is it gives you an opportunity to reveal hidden underlying patterns in the money flow in a market. And in this case, it is the Ripple cryptocurrency market. Now, Ripple is really not a currency, strictly speaking, although it could be used for transactions. And right now, it's only being used for interbank transfers, but it's on the move. It's the #2 cryptocurrency in the world right now, next to Bitcoin, and it is also the top performing cryptocurrency of 2017. So keep an eye on it, and we will come back with fundamental analysis of Ripple. Again, this is just our formula that we do, is break the altcoins up into sectors, and then from the sector analysis, this is the micro crypto sector. We look at what problems are being solved, and in this case it's speed and cost, and then look at individual coins fundamentally and technically to see what's going on. So that is how we break down the markets and give you trading advice. So hopefully this video has given you some powerful tools that you can put to use right away. And this Ripple move, it looks like it's strong, it's got powerful momentum, and it seems to be continuing. So put these tools to work for you in your cryptocurrency altcoin investment decisions. And that is our live trading video for today.